You are born under a sky that snarls in a roundhouse, where the wind claws at the thatch, each gust a lover's whisper gone feral. The packed earth beneath you hums with the pulse of Britannia, its rivers singing secrets older than stone. Your mother, her hands rough as oak bark, cradles you, by a fire spitting embers like curses. Smoke curls upward, escaping through the roof's jagged hole as if fleeing a prophecy. Outside the moors stretch endless, their shadows hiding spirits that watch with unblinking eyes. You are Iceni flesh of this fierce land where the oaks stand like sentinels and the rivers demand blood for their bounty. Your name is Boudica, whispered to you in the dark, meaning victory, a blade of a word that cuts your future open. As a child, you're no stranger to the wild. The wind batters your skin, painting it with mud and sun, while your laughter tangles with the cries of hawks. You ride before you walk, your tiny hands gripping a pony's mane, its breath hot against your cheek, a bond sealed in sweat and defiance. The spear comes next, its weight a lover's promise in your palms, heavier than the bronze torque around your neck passed down from women whose eyes burned like yours. Embroidery. You tried it once, the thread snapped, the cloth bled red. Your parents nod their smiles sharp. Daughters must be blades, not ornaments in a world where sons inherit, but daughters carve their own thrones. The elders' tales are your cradle songs woven from memory, not parchment. They speak of gods with antlers sharp enough to gut the sky, of queens who wove vengeance into their braids of rivers that swallow cowards whole. You listen, honeyed oats sticking to your lips, your heart pounding with a hunger to become such a story. But whispers creep through the village like frost tales of men in red cloaks, their steel sandals grinding sacred groves to dust. They build roads that scar the earth, demand taxes that choke the wind. The Romans, they're distant for now, a shadow on the horizon. You don't fear them yet. You fear only the stillness, the moment before the storm breaks. But the land itself is alive and it speaks to you. At night you slip from the roundhouse, bare feet kissing the cold earth, drawn to the oak grove where the air hums with something ancient. A shadow moves, not a wolf, not a man, but a figure cloaked in mist, its eyes glinting like polished flint. It whispers your name, Boudica, and the talk at your throat grows warm, heavy as a vow. You don't tell the elders. This is yours, a secret stitched into your bones. The land knows you, and you know it will demand blood, yours or theirs. You return to the firelight, your mother's gaze catching the spark in your eyes. She says nothing, but her hand lingers on your shoulder, as if she feels the weight of what's coming. Dawn breaks like a blade across the moors, and you... Boudica, already awake, your breath misting in the chill. The wooden sword in your hand is no toy, it's a lover's challenge. Splintered and heavy, bruising your palms as you parry a boy twice your size. His grin falters when your strike lands a crack against his shin, and that echoes like a war drum. The elders watch, their eyes gleaming with approval, for in the Iceni, a girl must be as fierce as a boar, as cunning as a fox. Your tutor, a scarred warrior who smells of hay and iron, teaches you to block before you breathe, to strike before you blink. Every meal is laced with lessons, dagger drills at dawn, spear throws at dusk, dodging goats that charge like they've sworn vengeance. You laugh through. Protocol love it, the sting of sweat and the thrill of a hit well landed. Your first mount, a shaggy pony with one eye and a temper like a storm, snorts as you vault onto its back, your thighs gripping its flanks, the rhythm of its gallop syncing with your heartbeat. The man who trains you, more beast than human, his hair matted with straw, watches with a grunt. You'll do, he says, but his eyes linger, not with lust, but with the weight of prophecy. He sees the fire, you the same fire the spirits whisper of in the grove. The druids pull you into their rituals, their robes reeking of earth and mystery, their chants coiling around you like smoke. Under the sacred oaks they paint your face with blue woad, its cold sting waking your skin. They speak of gods who demand blood of a queen destined to burn empires. One elder, his eyes like twin moons, grips your arm, his voice a hiss. The gods have marked you, child. Their hunger will be yours. You don't flinch, but the talk at your neck pulses warm as a lover's touch. You don't tell them of the mist figure that haunts your dreams, its voice promising iron and fire. It's no spirit, you think it's you, the you that's coming. The village buzzes with rumours of Romans, their red cloaks like bloodstains on the horizon. They are closer now, their roads carving wounds into the land. Your father, his voice rough with ale, speaks of taxes and treaties, his fists clenched. Your mother, her gaze sharp as a blade, teaches you to read faces, to smell betrayal in a smile. At night, by the fire, the elders argue over tribal feuds, their voices rising like sparks. You learn to listen, to wait, to hide your rage behind a polite nod. A girl, they say, must be sharper than a man. You practice with your dagger, its edge, kissing your thumb, drawing a bead of blood that tastes like iron and promise. The Romans are coming, but so are you. You step into queenship not with a crown of gold, but with a talk that bites into your skin warm as a lover's bite. Prasutagus, the king of the Iceni, claims you in a ceremony under the sacred oaks where the druids chant and the mist figure from your dreams lingers at the edge of vision, its eyes approving. He is clever, cautious, his hands calloused from reins and blades, his gaze lingering on your curves with a hunger that mirrors your own. Your union is no gentle affair. Nights in the larger roundhouse are fierce bodies entwining like vines in a storm sweat, and whispers blending with the crackle of the fire. You taste salt on his skin, feel the pulse of his heart against yours, a rhythm that echoes the land's wild beat. But intrigue shadows your bed. Whispers of Roman spies slither through the village, their olive-scented envoys arriving with smiles that hide daggers. As queen, you navigate the tightrope of alliance, Rome's shadow lengthening like a predator's. Prasutagus smiles at their contracts, gritting teeth behind closed doors, trading peace for time. You host feasts where Roman officials in polished armour reek of superiority, their eyes roaming your form with predatory intent. One governor, his voice oiled with flattery, gifts you a bronze mirror, its surface reflecting not just your fierce beauty, but a flicker of the mist, spirit, whispering betrayal. You almost shatter it with your axe, the urge to spill blood rising like heat in your veins. Instead you play the diplomat your hand, brushing Prasutagus's under the table, a secret spark amid the tension. Supernatural omens weave through your days, dreams of rivers running red, the oaks murmuring warnings of chains and fire. You birth daughters, two fierce hulls, who emerge screaming into the world at their eyes sharp as flint. They ride with you, tiny hands gripping your chariot's edge, their laughter a defiance against the encroaching empire. You train them not for marriage, but for war, teaching them to wield daggers with the sensuality of a dance, their bodies learning the grace of violence. Intrigue deepens. A Roman centurion approaches you in secret, his breath hot against your ear, offering power in exchange for betrayal. You feign interest, your fingers tracing his arm, drawing him close before whispering a curse that makes him pale. That night the mist figure appears, fully its form, shifting to a warrior queen of old, urging you to prepare. Rome's taxes choke your people, sacred groves fall to their axes, but you endure your queenship, a simmering pot of rage and desire, waiting for the boil. The client kingdom facade cracks. Under Roman weight architecture rises like scars on the land, officials mangling Iceni names with smug tongues. You pour wine at banquets, enduring small talk that grates like gravel on skin, all while plotting in shadows. Prasutagus walks the edge, shaking hands he longs to crush, but together you rule a tribe teetering on rebellion's brink. Your daughters grow biting like lightning, their presence a reminder of what's at stake. In the quiet hours you and Prasutagus conspire, bodies and minds entangled, forging plans laced with supernatural insight from your spectral guide. The land demands loyalty, and you give it your queenship, not a title, but a vow etched in blood and passion. Illness creeps into Prasutagus like fog over the moors, slow and insidious, staining his skin pale and drawing ragged breaths from his chest. You hold him in the roundhouse, your fingers tracing the scars of old battles, memories of passionate nights now shadowed by death's whisper. He grips your hand, eyes fierce despite the weakness dictating his will. Roam as co-heir with you and your daughters. A clever bridge, he believes, will save the Iceni. You nod, but doubt coils in your gut like a serpent, the mist spirit appearing in dreams to warn of betrayal's blade. As he fades, violence stirs in the air. Tribal skirmishes with Roman patrols erupt, blood spilling on sacred soil, a foretaste of the storm. You bury him under the oaks, his talk placed on the altar, the druids chanting as wind howls like a banshee. Grief claws at you, sensual in its rawness, a fire that burns hotter than any lover's touch. But Rome arrives swiftly, not with condolences, but chains administrators in impractical cloaks, their faces smug as they unfurl scrolls, declaring the kingdom theirs. Your diplomacy crumbles. You quote their laws, voice steady, but they laugh, eyes gleaming with intrigue. The centurion from before returns his gaze predatory, hinting at alliances forged in secret, his hand brushing yours with false promise. You sense the trap, the mist figure manifesting visibly now, its ethereal form urging resistance. Escalation comes like thunder. Soldiers storm your home, not an army, but enough to humiliate. They strip you bare in public, the whip cracking against your back, each lash a violent kiss, drawing blood that freezes in the air. Pain blooms, visceral and unyielding, your screams echoing as your people watch in shared rage. Your daughters suffer worse, their kiss piercing your soul, a betrayal that ignites supernatural fury. The ground trembles faintly, oaks, whispering vengeance. You hold them afterward, bodies trembling, your touch soothing, yet charged with unspoken desire for retribution. The mist spirit solidifies beside you, its hand cold on your shoulder, promising power if you embrace the storm. The elders urge patience, fearing Roman swords, but you plot installments, your scars, a map of intrigue. This isn't just insult, it's a declaration of war, Rome's arrogance, birthing your rebellion. You rise not for dignity alone, but because the ancestors demand it, the gods of iron and oak roaring in your blood. Your daughter's eyes, no longer innocent, mirror your resolve. Somewhere Rome chuckles at their correction, unaware they forged a queen of fire and shadow. The mist spirit smiles, fading into the night, leaving you with a vow they should have killed you. They call it justice, but you feel it as violation, a raw, sensual agony that sears your flesh and soul. The Roman soldiers burst into your roundhouse like wolves in heat, their armoured bodies reeking of sweat and olive oil, eyes alight with cruel desire. They seize you, Boudica, queen of the Iceni, tearing at your woolen garments until you're exposed, the cold air kissing your skin like a betrayer's lips. The whip descends, each crack a violent embrace, splitting your back open in crimson lines that burn hotter than any lover's touch. Blood trickles down, pooling at your feet, the earth drinking it greedily as if awakening to your pain. Your screams mix with the crowd's gasps, your people watching in horrified silence, their rage simmering like a cauldron about to boil. Worse still, your daughters, innocent flames of your bloodline, are dragged forth, their young bodies subjected to horrors that twist your gut with visceral fury. The soldiers' hands grope and bruise their laughter, a dagger in your heart, the air thick with the scent of fear and violation. You strain against your bonds muscles, taut the talk at your neck, pulsing with supernatural hitzir, as if the mist spirit infuses it with power. The ground trembles subtly, a whisper of earthquake oaks rustling with unseen winds that carry echoes of ancient curses. Intrigue unfolds even here. One centurion hesitates, his eyes meeting yours with a flicker of doubt. Has he been swayed by whispers of rebellion? Or is this a deeper Roman ploy? Afterward, you cradle your daughters in the dim light, their tremors against your chest. A sensual reminder of shared vulnerability, your fingers tracing their bruises with tender rage. Their eyes, once bright, now hold shadows that mirror your own understanding blooming too soon. This isn't mere humiliation, it's a calculated betrayal. Rome stripping not just flesh, but spirit, intending to break you as a warning. But they underestimate the fire they've ignited. The mist spirit appears fully now, its form ethereal yet tangible, brushing your scars with icy fingers that heal and empower, whispering of gods who thirst for Roman blood. You do not weep aloud, instead fury coils within. Older than empires, a purpose forged in pain. The elders murmur patience, fearing legion's swords, but your people kneel in the dirt, not broken, but bound in shared vengeance. Rome thinks you've bowed. They've only awakened the storm. If they wanted submission, they should have slain you outright. Now the land itself rebels, subtle omens, rivers turning red at dusk, wolves howling prophecies, signalling the gods' alignment with your wrath. The scars on your back throb like a lover's mark, each pulse a reminder of Rome's brutality, fueling a fire that spreads through your veins. You Boudica, do not scream your rage to the skies, not yet. Instead, you plot in shadowed councils your voice, a seductive whisper that draws elders and warriors close. The mist spirit hovers at your side, its presence a cool caress against your heated skin, guiding your words with supernatural insight. You speak in metaphors the mother bear ravaged her cubs stolen, now clawing back with fangs bared. The women nod first, their eyes gleaming with shared sensuality of defiance. Then the men, fists clenching at tales of flogged backs and violated daughters. Intrigue weaves through the villages like mist at dawn. Secret meetings under sacred oaks where druids chant invocations that summon winds carrying whispers of alliance. You forge bonds with tribes once rivals the Trinovantes bruised by Roman taxes, the Catuvillauni groves desecrated. A messenger arrives from a shadowed Roman defector, his breath hot with promises of inside knowledge, his gaze lingering on your form with ambiguous intent. Is he ally or spy? You test him with a blade to his throat, the steel kissing his skin, drawing a drop of blood that seals his oath, or so you hope. Violence simmers. A skirmish erupts on the borders. Iceni blades tasting Roman flesh, bodies left as warnings, their blood feeding the earth. In secret, you train old weapons, reforged in hidden forges, sparks flying like forbidden sparks of desire. Your daughters join their hands steady on daggers, eyes fierce with the trauma's alchemy into strength. The mist spirit teaches you in dreams visions of battles where spirits rise from the moors, aiding your cause with ethereal blades. You braid iron into your hair, paint your face with woe that stings like a ritual kiss, transforming not just appearance but essence. The army swells quietly, peasants with sickles sharpened to lethality, warriors with scars matching yours. Rome's spies lurk, but you feed them half-truths in intrigue, turning their own webs against them. One night under a blood moon, you sacrifice a ram, its hot blood anointing your hands, the druids proclaiming the god's favour. The rebellion isn't demanded, it's birthed from necessity, a natural eruption of fury. You look in the river, seeing not a broken queen, but an avenger, the mist spirit's form merging with your reflection. Rome gave you reason, now you'll give them ruin. You don't bellow war cries from hilltops, Boudica, not at first. Your scars do the shouting, etched like forbidden runes across your back, a map of Rome's savagery that draws eyes and ignites souls. You ride from village to village, your chariot's wheels carving furrows in the mud wolf fur cloak billowing like a lover's embrace in the wind. Your red hair whips wild, untamed, as the moors catching the light like flames licking the horizon. The mist spirit rides unseen beside you, its ethereal fingers brushing your arm, infusing your words with otherworldly power. Tribesmen gather at your approach, their gazes lingering on your form, Tall, fierce, a queen whose curves speak of fertility and fury, sensuality woven into every defiant stride. You speak not in flowery verse, but with raw truth, your voice a seductive growl that pulls them close. Remember the lashes that kissed at my skin. You murmur baring a shoulder to reveal the healed welts, each one a violent memory pulsing like a heartbeat. The taxes that choke our blood, the groves felled like lovers betrayed. Intrigue swirls in the air. Old enemies among the Trinovantes approach warily their leaders, whispering of secret pacts with Roman spies, but your presence unravels them. You clasp a chieftain's hand to your touch, electric, drawing him into your orbit, with a gaze that promises alliance or ruin. The mist spirit whispers names of traitors in your ear, allowing you to expose one false ally, with a swift blade to his throat, blood spraying in a visceral arc that seals loyalty in crimson. The women come first, drawn by the sensuality of shared pain, their hands tracing your scars in ritual solidarity, bodies pressing close in the firelight. Then the elders nodding as druids invoke spirits that make the ground hum. You smear blue woad across your face, its cold sting a lover's bite, patterns swirling like ancient tattoos that awaken supernatural vigour. Warriors follow their roars, building as you recount desecrated gods, flogged kin daughters stolen in the night. Tribes unite Cuvelauni with axes hungering for Roman necks, Deseangli with spears forged in secret forges. Violence hangs heavy. A skirmish breaks out with a Roman patrol scouting too close your forces, ambushing blades sinking into flesh with wet thuds, heads taken as trophies under the mist spirit's approving gaze. Your army isn't built on commands, but on memory sharpened to a point. You offer revenge as a gift wrapped in the intrigue of whispered prophecies, the mist spirit's visions of burning cities, spectral warriors rising from graves. By campfire glow, bards sing your name, their voices weaving spells that bind hearts. Rome hears echoes dismissing you as a quaint uprising, but you feel the tide turning a sea of spears swelling behind you. You are no longer just queen. You are vengeance incarnate, your eyes gleaming like coals fed by supernatural fire. The tribes rally not to a woman, but to a storm-given flesh. They flood in like a river, bursting its banks, Boudica dozens, turning to hundreds, then thousands, their footsteps a thunderous heartbeat echoing your own. Horsemen arrive first, cloaks whipping in the gale, followed by foot soldiers painted in swirling blue, their skin alive with woad that pulses under the moon's gaze. Farmers clutch sickles honed to razor edges, eyes burning with the sensuality of suppressed rage, while warriors bare chests scarred from old feuds, muscles rippling like coiled serpents. A boy no older than your daughters offers a slingshot fashioned from his father's belt. You kneel, your hand on his shoulder, warm as a promise, sensing the mist spirit's approval in the chill that follows. This is no mere mob, it's a reckoning, bodies pressing close in the camp's heat, sweat and desire mingling in the air. Your camp swells into a living beast, a mobile city of tents and fires where traders hawk arrows tipped with poison, talismans carved like your chariot and bread baked with herbs that sharpen senses. Intrigue threads through the chaos. Scouts report Roman spies slinking in shadows. One captured and interrogated under torchlight, his screams, a visceral symphony as blades coax secrets from his flesh. You appoint commanders, village chieftains with eyes for strategy druids, whose chant summoned fog to cloak movements. The mist spirit walks among them unseen, whispering betrayals, ensuring loyalty with spectral touches that raise hairs on necks. Violence erupts in controlled bursts. A duel between rival tribesmen ends with bloodied reconciliation, fists giving way to embraces charged with newfound brotherhood. Your daughters ride at your side, not as fragile blooms, but omens of fury, their hair braided with iron eyes sharp as daggers, their presence a sensual reminder of what's been stolen and what will be reclaimed. They sleep curled under bear pelts, your watch over them, tender yet fierce fingers, tracing their faces in the dark. The army's heat presses in thousands, strong peasants with improvised weapons, druids staring with eyes that see beyond flesh, the old offering, stories that weave supernatural threads into morale. Rome scoffs at reports, a woman's army, how droll. But scouts falter at the scale, the organisation, the unnatural coordination guided by your ethereal ally. Knights spells blay, wade the fires, druid spears a blessing blazed with the blood. Pig or foe you don't question, as chants older than stone invoke gods who hunger. You grip your spear, feeling the land's pulse sync with yours, the mist spirits form, solidifying to promise victory's embrace. This force isn't for conquest, it's justice clad in iron vengeance fueled by pain. Rome underestimates seeing bickering tribes mourning women, but you are here to burn expectations. The smoke from your camps a prelude to theirs. You descend on Camulodunum like a storm-breaking Boudica, your chariot wheels slicing through the earth, iron blades singing a song of ruin. Your army, thousands strong, surges behind you, a tide of painted warriors and sickle-wielding peasants, their war cries a sensual roar that drowns the wind. The mist spirit rides ahead, its ethereal form weaving through the dust cloud, guiding your path with whispers of vengeance that burn like desire in your blood. The Roman colony sprawls below fat with marble villas, and smugness a temple to Claudius gleaming like a taunt. You feel the talk at your neck pulse hot as a lover's breath, as the land itself stirs oaks groaning with spectral voices, urging blood. No stealth for you, subtlety is for cowards. Your arrival is a warning dust rising like smoke from a sacrificial fire. Roman veterans retired and soft scramble in parade armour, their rusted blades no match for your fury. You charge spear in hand, its weight a lover's grip, and the gates splinter under your warrior's onslaught, wood cracking like bones. Violence erupts in a visceral ballet. Blades sink into flesh, blood sprays in arcs that paint the streets red, screams mingling with the clash of iron. A centurion locks eyes with you, his gaze charged with fear and defiance. You drive your spear through his chest, feeling the wet resistance, his gasp, a fleeting intimacy before he falls. Intrigue surfaces even now, a whispered rumour among your scouts of a Roman spy within your ranks. But the mist spirit points him out and his throat is slit before he can betray. The temple stands defiant, its defenders barricaded, praying to a dead emperor's stone. You torch it, flames licking the walls like a lover's caress, slow and deliberate, taking 2 days to consume the shrine. The fire mirrors your rage, thorough and unyielding, as spectral shadows dance in the toque, ancestors cheering your destruction. Camulodunum burns to ash, villas crumbling, streets choked with bodies. Your daughters, fierce omens, collect scorched bronze from the temple's ruins, their hand-steady eyes gleaming with a fire that mirrors yours. This isn't joy, it's necessity, a message carved in flame and blood. Rome's grip is not eternal. The mist spirit nods its form, fading into the haze, promising more cities to burn. You stand among the wreckage, your cloak heavy with smoke, your heart a forge of unrelenting purpose. You don't linger in Camulodunum. Ashes. Boudica is a luxury for the defeated. Your army, swollen with victory's heat, marches south toward Londinium, Rome's gleaming jewel in Britannia. Your chariot rumbles wheels, cutting scars into the earth. Your daughters at your side, their presence essential reminder of pain turned to power. The mist spirit guides you, its form, shimmering in the dawn, whispering of Roman weaknesses. Supply lines, fragile garrisons thin. Your red hair streams like a war banner, catching the eyes of your warriors, their bodies taut with anticipation, sweat glistening like forbidden promises in the morning light. The air hums with supernatural energy, rivers reflecting blood red at dusk assign the gods march with you. Londinium looms a bustling hub of merchants and colonists, its streets pulsing with Rome's arrogance. You don't chase the fleeing panic as your herald, refugees, outrunning soldiers, their fear a sweeter banner than any cloth. Violence simmers along the road. A Roman patrol stumbles into your scouts and the clash is swift. Brutal blades flash blood pools, heads roll into ditches as offerings to the land. Intrigue dogs your steps. A Trinovantes warrior whispers of a Roman envoy, offering peace, his words laced with deceit. You meet him under a sacred oak, your fingers brushing his, as you take his scroll, sensing betrayal in his nervous sweat. The mist spirit confirms it, and your dagger finds his heart, his blood soaking the roots, a sacrifice sealing your resolve. Your army grows wilder, fiercer, fueled by the sensuality of shared purpose. Men and women press close in camp, their touches charged with defiance, forging bonds stronger than iron. Druids chant under starlight, their voices weaving spells that cloak your march in unnatural fog. The mist spirit dances among them, its eyes like embers promising chaos to Rome's order. Londinium's red cloaks vanish as Governor Gaius Suetonius Paulinus abandons the city, his absence a victory before the first blow. You reach the outskirts, the city's pulse quickening in fear, its walls no match for your sea of spears. You pause, spear raised, feeling the land's heartbeat sync with yours, the mist spirits whisper urging you to burn Rome's future to the ground. This is no mere march, it's a reckoning and you are its fire. Londinium sprawls before you. Boudica, a nest of Roman greed, its docks teeming with ships like bloated carrion birds, warehouses fat with stolen wealth. You unleash your army without mercy, chariots thundering through the gates, iron wheels churning mud and blood into a visceral paste. The mist spirit surges ahead, its form a swirling vortex that sows confusion among the defenders, their screams piercing the air as spectral whispers drive them mad. Your warriors flood the streets, axes and spears hungry, slashing through merchants and colonists who flee in panic, their fine tunics ripping like fragile skin. You feel the talk burn against your throat, a sensual heat mirroring the flames you ignite. Villas erupting in feather licks the sky like a lover's tongue. Violence reigns supreme, a Roman guard charges you, his gladius flashing. You parry with your spear, its point sinking into his gut with a wet thud, blood bubbling hot against your hand as he gasps his last. Intrigue flickers amid the chaos. A merchant begs for life, offering secrets of Roman supply lines, his eyes wide with desperation. You spare him momentarily, your fingers tracing his jaw in a mocking caress, extracting whispers of hidden gold before your blade ends him, a swift kiss of steel. The mist spirit approves, guiding your forces to key targets, the forum, the baths where flames consume marble and mosaic, the air thick with smoke and the metallic tang of spilled life. Your daughters wield daggers now, their strikes precise and fierce, avenging their trauma in each thrust, their young forms moving with a deadly grace that stirs pride and sorrow in your chest. The city burns for days, warehouses exploding in showers of sparks, the Thames reflecting the inferno like a river of blood. Supernatural winds fan the blaze, carrying embers to untouched quarters, as if the gods themselves stoke your vengeance. Romans huddle in cellars, their pleas ignored. Your army shows no quarter bodies piling in streets, a testament to Rome's hubris shattered. You stand atop a ruined bridge cloak, singed, heart pounding with the sensuality of triumph, the mist spirit whispering of the next target. Londinium falls not to legions, but to a queen's unyielding fury, a message etched in ash. Embers of Londinium still glow behind you, Boudica, as you turn your gaze to Verulamium, Rome's ally town swollen with traitors who bowed to the eagle. Your army invigorated by blood and loot marches relentlessly, the ground trembling under thousands of feet, a rhythm that pulses like a lover's heartbeat. The mist spirit scouts ahead, its ethereal eyes revealing ambushes. Roman reinforcements scrambling, but too late, their formations fracturing under supernatural illusions of ghostly warriors rising from the mist. Skirmishes erupt along the way, violent clashes where your chariots circle foes' wheels, slicing legs from under them, blood spraying in arcs that paint your warriors' faces like war paint. Verulamium awaits its walls a feeble barrier. You breach them with rams forged from sacred oaks, the wood groaning as if alive, empowered by druid chants. Intrigue unfolds within a Catuvelauni elder. Once an ally turned Roman puppet pleads for mercy, his voice trembling as he offers bribes. You draw him close, your breath against his ear, a seductive whisper, fingers digging into his arm before you expose his betrayal. Your spear impaling him publicly, his agony, a visceral warning that draws cheers. The town falls in a frenzy of violence, houses torched inhabitants cut down mid-flight blades sinking into flesh with wet crunches, the air heavy with screams and the coppery scent of death. Your daughters lead a charge, their daggers flashing avenging with each kill, their eyes alight with a fierce sensuality born of reclaimed power. Supernatural aid manifests winds howling like banshees, disorienting defenders, shadow lengthening to hide your archers. The theatre symbol of Roman culture burns, last flames consuming seats where once plays mocked your gods. Bodies litter the forums, a carpet of retribution. You claim trophies, Roman standards bent and broken, your army swelling with deserters drawn by your aura. The mist spirit urges onward, whispering of the final confrontation, but for now, Verulamium's ashes feed your fire. Another scar on Rome's empire, your rebellion, a storm unchecked. Your voice rises like a tempest, Boudica, cutting through the clamour of your assembled host, 1,000 strong under a sky heavy with omens. You stand atop your chariot, red hair cascading like blood rivers, your scars bared to the wind, essential testament to Rome's cruelty, each welt a line in a poem of vengeance. The mist spirit hovers its presence, a cool caress on your skin, amplifying your words with supernatural resonance that makes the ground vibrate. Britons! You cry your tone, a seductive growl, drawing them close. They flogged me like a slave, violated my daughters as spoils. Will you let Rome ravage our land, our bodies, our gods? Warriors lean in eyes, hungry fists clench the air thick with the scent of sweat and iron. You weave tactics into your speech, not mere rage, but cunning scouts report Suetonius's legions marching their formations tight but outnumbered. We strike like the wolf pack, you declare your hand gesturing with spear, its tip gleaming like a lover's promise. Chariots flank archers, rain death from shadows, infantry crash like waves. Intrigue laces your plans. A captured Roman legate spills secrets under torture, his screams, a visceral harmony as hot irons kiss his flesh, revealing weak supply lines. The mist spirit confirms whispering of ambushes, where spectral fog will blind enemies. Your daughters stand beside you, their voices joining yours, a fierce harmony that stirs hearts, their presence evoking the sensuality of unbroken spirit. The crowd roars, painted bodies pressing forward, the energy electric charged with desire for blood. You detail feints, draw them into narrow passes, where your numbers overwhelm chariots, slicing legs in bloody swathes. Violence in your words paints pictures. Their shields will crack like bones. Their blood feed our earth. Druids anoint warriors with blood rites, chants invoking gods who manifest as whispers in the wind. You end with a vow, your voice dropping to an intimate murmur. For our violated honour, for our stolen future, we burn them. The army surges tactics etched in their minds, your speech, not just inspiration, but a blade forged in fury and guile. The eve of battle cloaks the land in twilight. Boudica, your camp at a hive of purposeful frenzy, fires crackling like lovers' whispers under a moon-stained red. You move among your warriors, your touch on a shoulder here, a word there igniting their resolve. with sensual intensity. Bodies, taut painted skin, glistening in firelight, the air heavy with anticipation and the metallic tang of sharpened blades. The mist spirit glides beside you, its form more solid now, guiding preparations with visions of Roman weaknesses, their disciplined lines vulnerable to chaos, their auxiliaries ripe for defection. Scouts return bloodied from probes reporting Suetonius's position in a defile his 10,000, facing your horde of 230,000, a mismatch forged in hubris. Tactics solidify in council chariots to harass flanks infantry waves to overwhelm archers veiled in supernatural mist to pick off officers. Intrigue brews, a Roman deserter slips in his eyes wide with fear, offering intelligence for mercy. You draw him close fingers, tracing his arm in her calculated caress, extracting details of morale cracks before binding him as ally, or executing if false, his throat slit in a swift visceral release. Druids perform rites sacrificing captives whose blood anoints spears chants, summoning winds that howl with ghostly voices, empowering weapons with otherworldly keenness. Your daughters sharpen blades, their movements graceful yet deadly eyes, meeting yours in shared fury, a bond deepened by trauma's fire. Violence simmers in drills, mock charges where warriors clash, blood drawn in controlled fury to hone edges. You inspect lines your presence, a magnet warrior's gazes lingering on your form, inspired by the queen who embodies defiance. The mist spirit reveals omens, eagles circling favourably rivers, murmuring victory. As night deepens, you retire to your tent, spear in hand, feeling the land's pulse sync with yours, preparations complete. Dawn will bring the clash, your rebellion's crescendo, a symphony of blades, blood, and unyielding will. Dawn cracks the sky like a wound. Boudica and you lead your vast horde into the defile where Suetonius waits his legion, a wall of shields glinting like teeth. Your chariot surges forward, wheels churning earth, your red hair a banner of fire as the mist spirit swirls around you, weaving illusions that make your numbers seem endless shadows, dancing with supernatural menace. The air throbs with war cries, thousands of Britons pressing close bodies slick with woad and sweat the sensuality of impending violence, charging every breath. You hurl your spear first, its flight a lover's promise piercing a Roman shield and drawing first blood in a spray that tastes of urine on the wind. The clash is cataclysmic, your warriors crash against the Roman line axes, hacking at shields with visceral thuds, limbs severing in fountains of crimson screams, blending into a symphony of agony. Intrigue strikes mid-battle. A chieftain you trusted falters, his eyes darting betrayal from Roman gold. The mist spirit reveals him, and your dagger finds his back. A swift, intimate betrayal repaid in kind, his gasp lost in the melee. Romans hold firm, their javelins raining like deadly kisses, impaling your kin, bodies piling in heaps. You charge again, spear slick with gore, feeling the land's fury rise, earth trembling as spectral ancestors join their ethereal blades, slashing at foes, drawing unearthly howls from the Romans. But tactics turn against you. Your wagons block retreat, trapping your forces in a killing ground. Romans advance disciplined blades, thrusting with mechanical precision, gutting warriors in wet rips, blood soaking the ground into mud. Your daughters fight beside you, daggers flashing in graceful arcs, avenging with each kill their cries fierce and sensual in defiance. The mist spirit fights valiantly, cloaking allies in fog, but Roman resolve holds their shouts, drowning the supernatural whispers. You rally once more, voice a thunderous seduction, for our blood, our land, but the tide turns your horde, fracturing under the onslaught, violence peaking in an orgy of death limbs, hacked heads, crushed the defile a charnel house. You fight on spear-breaking bones, but defeat's shadow looms, the mist, spirit's form fading as hope wanes. The battle shatters like brittle bone. Boudica, your army crumbling under Roman steel, the defile slick with the blood of tens of thousands, your kin's cries fading into gurgles as blades reap without mercy. You stand amid the carnage, spear broken, scars reopening, in fresh agony, the mist spirit's final whisper, a cold caress, your fire endures. Intrigue sting bites deep, traitors within your ranks fled, early Roman spies sowing discord. Their betrayal a poison more lethal than swords. Violence culminates in massacre. Romans advance relentlessly, impaling the trapped, your warriors' bodies piling like offerings, the air heavy with the visceral scent of death and despair. Your daughters fall, defending you, their last embraces charged with sensual sorrow daggers, clutched in bloodied hands as Roman boots crush hope. You escape the field chariot, fleeing into the moors, but defeat's weight crushes poison or blade, ends your life in a sacred grove. A final act of defiance, blood mingling with earth, in ritual suicide. The mist spirit watches its form dissolving into wind, promising your spirit's return. Rome claims victory, but at cost legions, decimated Britannia scarred. Your legacy ignites whispers of the warrior queen, spreading like wildfire, inspiring future rebellions. Supernatural echoes linger, apparitions of a red-haired fury haunting Roman roads' groves, whispering your name. You become myth, a symbol of unbowed will, your rebellion's flame never fully extinguished, burning in the hearts of the oppressed. Your death echoes through the ages, Boudica not as an end, but as a spark that ignites the annals of history, your name carved in stone and scroll like a lover's vow. Tacitus and Dio pen your tale, their words a sensual blend of admiration and Roman bias, painting you as a towering figure with hair like flames, voice thundering vengeance against empire's chains. The mist spirit's essence lingers in these accounts, supernatural threads woven in omens of eagles tearing Roman standards, ghosts of fallen Britons, haunting victors' dreams. Your rebellion, though crushed, scars Rome deeply. Nero recalls legions, fortifies frontiers. The cost in blood and gold, a visceral reminder of Britannia's bite. Intrigue swirls in historical shadows. Did you poison yourself to evade capture or fall by your own blade in a grove blood mingling with earth in ritual defiance? Scholars debate, but your legacy empowers the marginalized women, warriors inspired by your fury, tribes uniting against oppressors. Violence marks your memory, burnt cities rebuilt, but with whispers of your chariot wheels still echoing in ruins. Supernatural lore blooms apparitions of a red-haired queen leading spectral armies against invaders, her talk glowing like embers. In medieval chronicles you're a symbol of resistance, your story twisted yet enduring. A queen who loved her land fiercely, fought brutally and defied eternally. Rome conquers, but your fire burns on, a testament to unyielding spirit. In the modern gaze you rise anew, Boudica, icon of feminist fire and anti-imperial rage, your story reshaped in films, books and art like a lover's reimagining. Statues stand tall in London, your form fierce and sensual chariot poised as if ready to charge through time. The mist spirit evolves into metaphor, supernatural defiance against colonial chains, inspiring movements from suffragettes to indigenous resistors. Violence in your tale draws scrutiny. Was your fury justified or a cautionary blaze? Intrigue abounds in archaeology, excavations unearth burnt layers in Colchester, echoes of your torch bones bearing marks of Roman retribution. Literature revives you. Novels paint intimate portraits, your scars touched with tender rage. Daughters as symbols of stolen futures. Films dramatize battles, chariots thundering, blood spraying in cinematic viscera, Your speech is a seductive call to arms. Supernatural twists emerge in fantasy, ghostly queens leading rebellions. Talk, granting unearthly power. Scholars debate your role heroine or terrorist, yet your legacy empowers a reminder that one woman's wrath can shake empires. In protests and poetry, your name invokes defiance, the mist spirits whisper, in every cry for justice. You are no relic, Boudica alive in the fight against oppression, your fire eternal. You fade from flesh into legend, Boudica. Your final breath in the grove, a sigh that echoes through centuries, the mist spirit, cradling your spirit as it ascends, weaving your essence into the land's eternal whisper. History blurs your edges, turning queen into archetype, Tacitus. Accounts laced with Roman intrigue, portraying you as a noble savage, your fury a storm they barely weathered. Supernatural veils drape your memory tales of your ghost, chariot, thundering cross moors, red hair, streaming like blood eyes glowing with unearthly fire, haunting legionaries who desecrated your grave. Violence lingers in the retellings, burnt cities, as pyres to your wrath battles, where spectral hands guided spears drawing Roman blood in vengeful torrents. Intrigue, shadow, as your myth. Were you buried with treasures cursed to slay grave robbers? Or did your daughters survive in secret birthing lines of rebel queens? Medieval bards sing of you in halls, their voices a seductive lure, painting you as a sensual warrior, body scarred yet alluring, defying kings with blade and bed. The Renaissance revives you in art statues capturing your defiant pose talk, a symbol of unbowed will. Supernatural elements flourish folk tales of you summoning storms, mist spirit as your eternal consort, whispering secrets to those who resist tyrants. Your memory empowers the oppressed, a bridge from ancient defiance to modern struggles, your rebellion not forgotten, but transformed into a living flame. As empires rise and fall, your story adapts intrigue in each reinterpretation. Victorian scholars romanticize your motherhood, ignoring the visceral lashings, the bloodied daughters. Yet the core endures a woman who loved fiercely, fought brutally, her sensuality and the passion of battle, the intimacy of vengeance. The mist spirit ensures your transition, guarding your myth from dilution, appearing in visions to poets and rebels alike. You become more than history, a memory etched in Britannia's soul, ready to awaken when chains rattle anew. You endure as an eternal symbol. Boudica, your spirit unbound by time, a beacon of resistance that burns in hearts across eras. The mist, spirit, your guardian, whispering your name in winds that carry rebellion's call. In modern streets, your image adorns banners at protests, red hair, a flag of defiance against oppression, sensuality, and the fierce curve of your stance embodying women's unyielding power. Violence in your legacy inspires films depict your battles with raw intensity, chariots crashing, blood spilling, and sensual slow-motion intrigue in shadowed alliances that mirror today's political webs. Supernatural aura clings you, appear in dreams to activists. Talk glowing, urging them to rise against tyrants. Your symbol empowers the marginalized indigenous fighters, invoke your fury against colonizers. Feminists, your lash-scarred back as proof of resilience. Intrigue swirls in debates, was your defeat a tragedy or a spark for future uprisings? Scholars unearth artifacts, bones bearing marks of your era's brutality. Supernatural claims tested yet unproven like ghostly echoes in radar scans of ancient fields. Art reimagines you, sculptures capture your sensual form in bronze eyes, fierce spear raised. Literature weaves you into fantasies where mist spirits ally with queens to topple empires. Eternal, you transcend history, a symbol of love turned to war, pain forged into power. The mist spirit ensures your flame never dims, appearing in visions during crises, guiding hands to blades or ballots. You are Boudica victory, not in conquest, but in the unquenchable fire of defiance, your story. a seductive call to all who feel chains promising that empires fall but spirits like yours rise forever. You huddle in the igloo's dim glow, the Arctic wind howling outside like a spurned lover, its icy fingers clawing at the snow wall seeking entry to your warmth. The elders' voices rise low and rhythmic, weaving tales that pulse with the land's heartbeat, stories, not mere words but lifelines etched in breath and memory. You feel the fur against your skin, soft yet charged with the sensuality of survival. Each pelt a reminder of hunts where blood steamed in the cold knives sinking into flesh with visceral intimacy. These myths are no bedtime whispers. They are blades honed by generations teaching you to navigate the frozen vastness, where time stretches like drifting ice, each retelling, shifting subtly, shaped by the teller's fire and the listener's hunger. Intrigue lurks in the swirls of these narratives, whispers of shamans plotting with spirits, betrayals among kin that mirror the sea's treacherous currents. Violence threads through tales of hunters gutted by bear spirits for disrespect, their screams swallowed by blizzards, blood freezing into crimson sculptures. Supernatural forces dominate the aurora, twisting like ethereal lovers in the sky, spirits of ancestors watching with unblinking eyes ready to curse or bless. You learn early, a raven's caw isn't idle, it's a warning, a trickster's laugh that could lure you to doom or fortune. The Inuit myths span Alaska's rugged coasts to Greenland's icy fjords, a constellation of beliefs where transformation is key, humans becoming beasts sees birthing monsters from pain. Seednaloom's largest, her underwater realm, a domain of tangled hair and vengeful gaze, but all tales echo survival's raw edge, respect the animal's soul or face its wrath in storms that lash like whips. You taste the salt of seal blood on your lips, feel the knife's grip in your hand, the intrigue of nature's pacts where one wrong step invites supernatural retribution. These stories live breathed in the dark, carried on winds that moan with ancient voices, reminding you that in the Arctic humans are but guests, fragile and fierce, bound by threads of desire, dread and defiance. Beneath the Arctic waves, where cold silence presses like a lover's unyielding embrace, dwells Sedna, her form tangled and currents dark and deep hair, flowing like seaweed in a storm's fury. You plunge into her myth, feeling the chill seep into your bones, her story a visceral tapestry of betrayal and power. Once a young woman, her beauty a sensual lure, skin smooth as polished ice, eyes deep as the abyss. She refused suitors, their advances rebuffed with a gaze that promised both desire and doom. Intrigue ensnares her, tricked into marriage with a bird spirit disguised as a handsome hunter, his feathers hiding claws that would later tear at her soul. Her father, driven by shame or greed, rows her into the raging sea, the boat rocking like a cradle of deceit. Violence erupts as the storm rises, waves crashing with supernatural rage, spirits of the deep awakened by her cries. In terror, he hurls her overboard, her fingers clinging to the gunwale nails, digging into wood like lovers' marks. He severs them one by one, the knife's blade kissing bone in brutal intimacy, blood mingling with salt water, each digit transforming as it sinks, seals from her thumbs, whales from her fingers, fish from the rest. Pain blooms raw and erotic in its intensity, her screams swallowed by the depths as she descends, not dying, but becoming goddess of the sea, mother of marine life, her severed hands birthing bounty. Now she rules from shadowed realms, hair eternally tangled by betrayal's knots, her fury a storm that withholds the hunt if disrespected. Shamans journey to her in trance, combing her locks with reverent touches, soothing her with whispers of atonement, their souls brushing hers in supernatural communion. You sense her grief's power, greed, angers her waste. Invites, her wrath hunters must thank the kill waste no part or faced empty nets and starving kin. Sedna embodies balance, her pain the ocean's mercy and menace a reminder that betrayal cuts deep, but from wounds spring life her myth, a seductive call to honour the wild's intricate web. In the Arctic's embrace, where snow whispers secrets and the